Okay, is everyone ready?
Yep, I can see.
Okay. Jude, are you there? Okay. Alright, um, I'll be owning my camera later. So yeah,
Okay.
I'll be starting. Alright, so good afternoon to all lecturers and my fellow classmates. So we are from team ID 10T, and yeah, this is basically our teammates lah. Alright, yeah, and I'll be passing it to the first presenter, which is Jude. Alright, good
Okay.
luck.
Okay, hello sir, and my fellow classmate. My name is Jude. I'm the lead designer for this group. So what I have done for this week is I have completed the level one layout. I also in progress doing level three in progress layout. I also have done the game loop and the game floor. So for next week, I will be completing the level three layout. And as you can see from the right side, it's the level two layout, 2D view and the 3D view as well. So that's all from me. I will pass to my fellow designer. So Megat.
Hello, I'm Magat. I'm one of the designers working on Poltergeist. So for the past weeks, I did redesign the puzzle mechanic so that it's not set pieces and I let the player have more control. So now the sleepwalker has something they're attracted to, and the player needs to figure out what it is that they're attracted to in their level, and then find out how to use that to get the sleepwalker back to bed. Then I sketched the concept for level one, designed the level one puzzle, as well as edited the game flow, and I did documentation for level one puzzle. So for next week, I'll be working on level two, the concept sketch as well as the puzzle design, and then make changes to level one if necessary. That's all from me. Thank you.
And next me. So for this week, I doing the finding reference for level 3 and 4, and doing the puzzle mechanic for level 3 and 4, and for the sketch for level 3 concept. So at the picture there is the level 4 plan sketch layout, and for the next week, I need to complete the puzzle for the level 3. Okay, that's all.
Hello, I'm Vincent. I'm the art lead, and I'm sorry I cannot on my camera because I just gave back my laptop after format like 2 days ago, so everything has been changed. And I'm be handling the characters, and for this week, I'm doing the variation of the characters in the Kampong file, and next week I will be creating one more characters because total we need 4 characters, and add texture to all of the characters. Yeah, so.
Wait, would they turn on the camera? Okay, just
Origin.
yeah. Just a moment. I don't know how to turn on the
You gotta turn on. You gotta share your screen, and then open your camera in your laptop.
camera. Yeah.
Not from Discord though.
Ah. Uh. It was just confused. I have no idea.
Okay. So what you should do is on Discord you should share screen. Okay, not share application but share screen. Okay.
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 Screen.
Share your whole screen, and then in your look for your web camera application. Your camera application.
I don't. Wait. From application, which is which one?
There, right
On the
there, at
camera.
the camera. Scroll up. Scroll up.
This one. This
Camera. Yeah. There you go.
is it visible? Okay. So for origin for this week, I did the sofa model and the sofa model, and the middle is the TV model, and the one on the bottom. For next week, I will continue doing the kitchen and perhaps do some texturing on the sofa and TV. That's all.
Okay, thank you.
Alright, I'm up next. So for the past week till today, what I did was the essential props for the level one. So our main prop would be obviously we need a bed for the sleepwalker to sleep on. So based on the level design, we'll need the character will be following the lamp. So I made some props based on the standing lamp, a light bulb, and a candle. And also there's a key to unlock uh, a wardrobe. So for the next week, I'll be working on the box of matches, which I haven't started yet. The wardrobe is still in progress, and as well as the bedroom furniture, such as a table and a chair for like as a study area of sorts, and as well as other furniture that you will see in the bedroom lah. And that is all from me. I'll be passing it to that league.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Muhammad Amshah and I'm the tech lead. So for this week, I've been experimenting with Pro Builder, and using Pro Builder, I've created the level 1 layout and added what props I could add, such as the bed and such as the bed, sofa, and couple of lamps. And for next week, I'll be adding light switches and spawning the key in random areas.
Mm,
Yep, that's all from me. Thank you.
okay.
Hi, my name is Brian. What I've done is the prop interaction, so you can drag and drop items and props around the rooms. What I'll be doing next will be the feature of environment mode and camera mode. So there'll be two modes. Environment mode is when you can interact with the environment, so props will be movable, but the camera will stay still. In camera mode, the players only can change the camera's angles. They cannot interact with any props. So players will have to go between the two modes to interact with the props and interact with the environment as well, and see the whole game in a layout. That's it for me.
Jonathan?
Hello everyone, so Jonathan here. So for this week I made the camera angles and also freedom camera. So from the GIF you can see it's actually the freedom camera. Unfortunately I didn't put in the camera angles GIF, but previously that time when we are doing the showcase the camera swapping, that's the one that I did. And then next week I'll be polishing the camera movement because you can see from the GIF, sometimes when you rotate the screen, it rotates very fast, and sometimes it's like very distorted, not so smooth. So I'll be polishing that, and then I'll also try to add in joystick camera control, which is add on joystick, so it will allow the player to control the camera way more smoother in Android mode. And then also I'll be working on the another button where it would swap between the camera movement and also the environment. That one uh, will be actually working together with Brian as well. And that's all from me. Thank you, everyone.
Um, Hi, I'm Kat. Um, so this week I did the nav mesh and I implemented. So as you can see on the right side, yeah, I changed from the transform that I used before and now currently is Nefmesh lah. Yeah, and so next week I'm gonna work on the multiple part based on play action. So the play action will react. Sorry, the sleepwalker will react to the play action lah. Yeah, that's the goal for next week. So thank you. That's about it from our us. Is there any question?
Mr. Michael, you want to go first? I think mic is muted.
Okay, sorry. I my home internet crashed just now, probably because of the rain or something. So I'm now on mobile. Uh, I didn't really catch the last part of the tech presentation, so but it's okay lah. All right, so
You
let's go to the designer site.
do you want us to represent for you
Okay.
for that part?
It's okay, I recorded it already.
Yeah, that's okay. Fine. All right. Can you go back? Yeah, first slide. Design slide. Completed level 1 layout and level 3 layout currently in progress. Okay. Game loops, game flow. Okay. So you guys have completed your gameplay design for your first level already, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, okay. So level 3 is fine. Okay. All right. No problems here. Can you go to the next one? Design the puzzle mechanic. Set this. What's the difference between the level 1 here and the previous slides level 1?
Um, so the previous one,
Ah,
this is actually level one layout. So this is just the level design that Jude did, and then after
okay.
that, in my slide, so that's the layout plus the puzzle elements. So all the
Okay.
interactables you see in there.
Uh-huh. Okay. So it's just why do you separate these different people doing?
Because you did the level design, and I was supposed to do the puzzles for that for this level.
Okay. My question is why do you choose to do it? Isn't the person that is doing the level design supposed to also do the puzzles? Because since he designed it a certain way for a reason, right? Uh, Hello?
Hello? Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yes.
so what I wanted to know is why separate out the two?
Because mainly I did the redesigning of the puzzle mechanics. So
Oh, okay.
I was responsible for putting it in the levels. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And then for level one, before you design the level, I gave him the concept sketch for level one. So I also
Okay,
had this in mind when I created the puzzle.
I see. Okay. Because this is very strange because the layout of your levels are based on what you want to do in the puzzle. So whoever is doing the level design should be doing the puzzle and the layout together because it's interrelated. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so and that's why I put it. strange that one person did the layout and a completely different person did the how the puzzles on the level will be lah. So you might want to look at it. You may not be very efficient, but that depends on how your team is set up lah. If your guys are okay with it, then I won't have any problems lah. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Say you.
understood.
Okay, no. Okay.
Sorry.
Let's say you're cutting out a bit.
Yeah, that's why.
Okay. One moment. I try to get back on. Okay, internet seems to be back. I'll try to get back on my PC, my laptop. Give me a moment. Okay, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Yeah, I hope this is better. Because on the phone, it tends to pick up a lot of outside noise. Yeah. Okay, so what was it very strange to have one person doing the layout and another person that is doing the puzzles for the level up. So uh, because the layout and the puzzles should be interrelated or strongly interrelated. Okay, your layout of your level will be this way because the puzzles are that way. So having two different people working on it is a bit odd lah. But if that works for your team, then that is okay lah. But it may not be very efficient if one person do a layout that doesn't fit for the how your puzzles will play in the level, and then someone do the puzzles separately from the layout, you might have problems in the future coordinating. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
yeah. So you might want to re-look at that and see how you want to continue with it. Yeah. If this works out for you, then I am fine. But going back to the previous slide, if the puzzles of the levels are not being done by Jude, then what you have completed here is actually not much lah. Okay, what do you do with your game loop and game flow? Can you show some of that work?
Was in the last week's slide on the Poltergeist pitch.
Yeah, but that's last week's work, not this week's work. So if you're telling me this, you only completed the level 1 layout and started work on the level 3 layout only. The game loop and game flows was last week's work. You did very little for this week. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
All right. Is there other things that you're working on?
Actually, we are discussing about editing a few more levels. That's the part where I supposed to come in lah.
I see. So you are doing a lot more meetings and organizing. Okay. So in your weekly update slides, note that as well. Write those things down as well. So that it doesn't look like you're doing too little things. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yeah. So what you did for that week, actually note it down in your slides. Okay. Cool. Then let's go to the next slide. Next slide. Okay, he's doing the. Okay. For Muhammad Firdaus, starting work on level 3, finding references. Okay, you were doing so with some research. Okay, doing puzzle mechanics for level 3 and level 4. Okay, and sketch level 3 concept. What happened to level 2? I keep seeing level 1 and level 3, but nothing on level 2.
I'm working on level 2.
Yeah.
Oh, you're working on
So
level 2.
yeah.
Yeah.
I see. Oh, okay. All right, Ken. Okay. Next slides. Is that on? Oh, okay. So yeah. So my concern on the design side is you're splitting up the work this way may become a problem in the future, especially when you want to coordinate the work lah. So but if it works out for you, that's fine. Also, during your update slides, make sure that you update, uh, instead of summary, try to update more things of what you work on in the project. All right, because we will be marking you based on what you have done this week. So if it looks like too little work is being completed, we will question it and we may not mark you properly because of that. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir, okay.
Yeah. All right. So give us more information of what else you have been doing lah. Okay. Fill up your task thing, reporting on the task things that you have done. Okay. All right. So thank you very much. Oh yeah, one more suggestion. Before I pass to the next lecturer. At us for your main slides. All right. So put a summary of everybody's work before you go into each individual uh, work for the week. So a summary for your whole team. Does that make sense? Summary of work done or progress of your game for the whole team.
Alright, sir. Noted.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So that's all from me. Thank you very much.
Okay. Hey, Vincent.
Hey, sir.
Correct. Okay, based on okay, based on your character design, I think it looks fine. Okay. I think most of the how I say in terms of modeling, it's okay. It just I'm not really sure how the final result will be look like after you do the texture because it's really depends on the overall art style are you want to go for. Okay, let's say example, if your texture go for those like very vector style texture. Okay, then you need to having some pattern on the character. And one is I will giving feedback after you done texturing. But for the current one, modeling, I think it's fine. But just one thing is, regarding the female character when it's walking, how to walk, look like this, especially the one wearing dress one.
Uh, they have to think of something, think of other design.
Okay, so there's a question for you. I throw this question for you, so you can go and figure it out. How you going to stop it? Okay, if really cannot, then don't wear dress.
Okay, okay. I try other things.
Okay, then okay you try it out. Then you can research those like those Lego or what how it work or walk how does the Lego character walking or you sure having some reference one from so you can have a check on it now. And yeah, one more thing is regarding the second character, the hair, because I only can see one line there on the face there to separate the hair and the face. So yeah, maybe you can make it more obvious a little bit,
Oh, okay.
or you will going to do the face and hair separation during the texture stage. I'm not sure because because now what I can see is you put you having a polygon there to separate it. So that's why if you want to use this way, then you should make it more obvious lah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I think yep. You may proceed. Okay, on the texture side.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay. For you, I think the cross modeling is fine. It kind of is still match to the character. Okay. Another one is of course is the towelable wood texture. Okay. I'm not really sure. Is it the style you want to go for? Okay. Because if your towel because the tower texture is kind of like a stylized style, and also you're having some shading on top. Okay, so I'm not really sure. Is your character going to do that or what? So if the style is different, it might uh it might will be not really matching lah. So you need to figure it out. Okay, or you tell me it's a temporarily put there. Yeah, and if you after you put everything together, if it which is uh not really match, then you might need to think a way to fix it. Okay, next one. Okay, yours one. Yeah, I think overall is okay. Uh, the style everything is still stick to the low poly modeling style. Okay. Yeah. So maybe maybe before you go, of course, next week you can come up with more props and those furniture. But I will can I request one thing is can you come up with can you just pick one prop to do the texturing for it by next week? Because I want to see you guys is the texture is the props and character after you've done the texture is the style is matched. Is it okay, Junli?
Just one of the props, right?
For example, the bed. We choose bed. Is it okay?
Okay.
Mm.
I'll
Of
try.
course, yeah. Just other than of course, you need to continue to do those to model more props.
Oh,
What
Mm.
the match was okay. So you just add one more extra thing, which is I want the bed to be textured. Okay, so I want to see how you guys do the texturing, and if can after you've done the texture, maybe you can try to put into the Unity to see the uh to let me to see the final result. How does it look inside the Unity? You just simply import inside, then during your update to display it you do. Okay, I think
Yeah.
that's all from my side. Okay, thank you guys.
okay. For tech, uh, actually, I'm impressed. Most of the progress are quite decent. Uh, Pro Builder. Okay, you created a level layout. And that's good that you try to explore new features. But I will suggest not to delve it for too long lah. So you don't start at just building levels. Rather explore things like optimization and stuff. And ultimately, most importantly, right? Since you guys have some kind of level, it will be good that you start porting into mobile as soon as possible. So don't wait until like when you guys about to do vertical slice or do what is it the proof of concept, only you export. So you want to try to have that ready soon. I think your progress is okay lah. Spawn in random errors is what you mean, the character or
No, sir. It will be the key.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, I will see how you implement it by then lah. Next one. Actually, Brian one is not bad. But I want to caution you one thing is that your drag and drop, has it tested on mobile already?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, so it won't have like conflicting. Your raycast is still accurate. It will not hitting other props as easy, right?
Wait, what do you mean by hitting other props?
Because when you are using your finger, right, your
Uh-huh.
accuracy is greatly reduced, one.
Or you mean like touching on the specific prop, is it?
Yes.
Oh, that one I'm not sure yet because I only tried on like one prop so far.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, looks okay. You figure out how to get it nicely, but you want to check like can your finger reach like the furthest part of the screen or not? Will there be an effect, or you want to limit the zone in just a small zone? So I think it depends on your implementation also. Like do you have like a plain zone to reach? Okay, very good progress so far.
Sorry, Mr. Sarah. Is there a way to like limit the distance of how far it can reach?
You can have you are
Like
using raycast, right?
uh
Yeah, you can just set your raycast line to not be infinite
the
lah.
distance. Okay, okay.
Yeah, you want to set it to be long enough, but you want to try and error, see
All right.
whether it will be too far ahead or not. Or I'm not sure if this is a good idea. You can have like a limit zone where anything above your screen certain angle doesn't cast a ray cast at all.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, next
And,
one.
sorry,
No,
another
yeah,
one.
yeah.
For the camera mode, right? Because the props are not interactable, do I like make them inactive or something?
Uh, the best is that while in the process of non-interactive mode, you should disable your raycast.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Like
All right.
you want to not register your raycast during the camera mode until you enable it back.
Okay, thank you.
Mm.
Thank you.
Okay, next one. Uh, have you tried to do this in PC already? And then is this necessary? I'm not really sure if you need a free room though. Like rotation, yes, but not really sure about the free room. How are you going to tackle this free room mode?
You mean why do we do these free roam things?
Yeah, how do you use it in your mobile? Have you like think of
Okay, so
how?
as I mentioned on the next week things, we will make a button to swap between camera and environment. So basically, the idea from design, so is there's going to be a button to swap between the control between camera movement and also
Mm,
reacting with the props. So
okay,
while we are on the camera, so there will be a joystick where will allow player to control the camera by using
okay,
joystick.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. Good, good. Uh, will there be? Are you allowed to move object during free roam mode?
No, you are not.
Okay. Um, I mean, like, it would be cool that you can allow to move the object during that. Then, like, after you move to the angle you want, you can disable that and then switch back to the pick object mode. But
Oh,
that means that the level design will be very different already. I mean, it's something that is feasible lah, on your design if you want to use that. Or else your free roam is just look around only for details. Unless that you are using that for looking for clues.
yeah, it's mean to looking for clues and searching for the stuff that we need, materials and clues, while we are trying to take care the
I
sleep loss. That's why we implement this.
see. Okay, okay. I will see further like how are you going to use this in. All right. Good progress. Next one, Jeffrey. Yeah, it's good. I mean, like you added nav mesh. It's already like a good progress already. What I will suggest is that you can try to adjust your movement speed to match the animation, or you have the animation speed to match the movement speed.
All right, sir.
Yeah. Other than that, I think it's fine. Good. Decent progress here, overall for the tech.
So
Mm.
how do I? Because when I bake, right, I can only bake
Static.
yeah, static objects. But like if I were to click one of the asset model that the artist gave, right, I cannot bake it.
You put one of the asset, or you cannot bake it. What do you mean by that?
Uh, uh,
You mean like your sofa that you want to move around cannot be baked? You need
yeah,
to
it
you need
cannot
to
be.
add obstacle, nav mesh obstacle.
Oh, okay.
There's a component one.
All right.
Yeah. So there's the plane. So the whole object when you bake it will break the zone. Then if you want a certain object that is not movable, you can bake it as an obstacle. But your obstacle, right? There's two. One is a dynamic. One is a static version. Uh, the dynamic version allows you to move around and then rebake the zone. But the problem is doing that actually costs your processing power a bit.
Okay, then I'm a
So
bit worried.
you because it does the nav mesh regeneration real time. So you want to keep that kind of nav mesh obstacle as minimal as possible.
Oh, so
Yeah,
because in the game itself it's gonna be like that. So
you want
there's
everything to be movable.
there's a few stuff that is movable in the map. If you look in the design, in slide
Yeah,
3, if I'm
I
not
mean
wrong.
I mean few stuff is okay. Right? You don't want to have like 100 or 200 stuff to
Oh,
be like that.
oh, okay lah.
Yeah. You can test
Yeah.
it out lah. You can test it out how much you can handle. But most modern phone doesn't matter much, but it's something to take note because every time you are cutting nav mesh, it's uh it's kind of heavy. But for your case, right, your level is small enough that it's not as heavy. Yeah, so
All right.
you can play around that also. Mm.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Pretty decent progress overall for your team. So good job. All right. So second team, are you guys ready? Now creators. Okay. I can see your screen.
Chip in. Oh, okay. Let me open them. Is my face visible?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll start now. So we're team now creator, and this is our team update. So for the designers, we have refined the gameplay level and mechanics, and also set up some basic premise for the game. For the art, what they've done is that they've done the character designs and concepts, and concepts for some gun and the modeling for some guns. Then for the text, they have created basic prototypes of mechanics and menu. So I'll be presenting for Samuel. So for Samuel, what he's done this week is that he's done the ability some abilities for the attachment of the guns, and then he's done the game flow and level design, and the basic designs and the abilities for the energy cores. And then for next week, what we'll be doing is the GDD, the characters, and then some strengths and weaknesses for the characters.
Mm.
So for my part, I'm Chipin. So what I've done this week is that I've done some gun parts and modules. I've come up with how many parts for each gun, and then some basic module for each gun. And then I was also done some settings and premise, like the settings, and then for like the characters and stories, how it goes. And then I also done some mechanics, like for the cores of the how the core works. And then I've also done performance criteria for the players. So for next week, I'll be refining the mechanics of for some parts, and then I'll be also helping Sam on the GDD, and also refine some level for the game.
Hi, my name is Ryan, and my I can't open my camera right now because my app is not working. I don't know why. So for what I've done last week is I created a base model for our game, and on the right is the concepts for our NPCs. So the designer told me that we're gonna have four NPCs, and so those are the designs. And also I've also done that I didn't put it in because that was the whole idea was I had done a gun model and one attachment of it. So for next week I will try to fully design one of the NPC models.
That's all. Thank you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. For this way, yeah, I try to modeling uh one complete gun already lah. So yeah, we can see the different attachment and the part separate it, and then can group together lah. So yeah, for next week we will continue my gun access modeling and with the different attachment. Yeah, for that's all. So thank you.
Uh, okay. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Sheyong, and for this week, I've done the basic player controls, like the drag movement, lifting and dropping mechanics, the vertical interaction button, and finally the snapping mechanic is still in progress. So, as you can see in the GIF, the drag movement is when you tap and hold on one of the part, you can move it around on the screen. For the tapping and dropping mechanics, so the first time you tap on the parts, you float out in the air, and when you want to drop it on the table, you have to double tap it, so it will fall back down on the tables. For the vertical buttons, you can move the gun parts in the y-axis, so you move up and down, and it will also stay in that y-axis when you move it around. And finally, the snapping mechanic is still in progress, but you can see right now you can snap two of the part together. And for the next week, I'll be continue to do the snapping mechanic, and that's it for me. Thank you. I can't hear you, 中介.
I still can't hear.
Maybe you can go first.
Okay, so my name is Lazy. What I've done this week is set up an audio manager, which the audio manager will can spawn the audio clip. It also updates the audio clip's volume according to a player breath. It can also it will have a uh, differentiated between a music object and a music clip and then a sound effect clip. You can also take the music clip to the next scene, and it can also pause all the audio clips. And the other one I think I've done is a QTE mechanic, which you can see it from the GIF. It detects when the black bar is in the green zone, and when you tap the screen inside the green zone, it will detect the tap. For next week, I'll improve the QT mechanic. That's all.
Okay. Hi everyone. My name is Jane, and for this week, I've done the menus prototype, the main menu, how to play menu, place menu, and pause menu. As you can see on the right side of the slide, the main menu is the very basic one for now, and I'll update it when our games is more after we discuss more, and then we'll update the menus. For the pause menu is the bottom right GIF. We use a button on the top right of the screen to pause the game, and when you pause the game, the gameplay UI will be disabled, so the players won't be able to click on it, or the players won't be confused on whether the buttons can be clicked or not. So I disable it when it's paused. Um, for next week, I'll be researching on the particle system for 3D and also create the level selection menu and also attach some buttons on the level selection menu according to the scenes that depending on the levels. That's it from me. Pass it back to you.
Is that all?
There's still one more having technical issue.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Mm,
Okay. Maybe you can update on use use the Discord on phone. No need to show face lah. Okay. If we are having problems. Okay. Sometimes this happens. Yeah.
Hello,
Hello.
is it working?
yeah.
Yeah, I
All
can
right.
hear you.
Good. The error. I'm not sure what's the problem because I
No
was
problem.
testing out and stuff, and it's not working out apparently.
Yeah.
All right. So what I did for this week is I did the timer and also testing out different cutscenes that works with the timer system lah. And next week, for now, I will be continue to improve the timer system because it's still a bit buggy, and I also need to add the effects like when the time is running out, I need to like change the color and stuff. Yep, that's all for me.
All right. Thank you. All right. Can we move to the designs things? Yeah. All right. So for design wise, okay, I think you guys is okay. Pretty good progress. Next. Hmm. Okay. All right. Thanks. Next. Hmm. Oh yeah, one thing I want to ask, is there a difference between the different and what is the NPC actually used for? Yeah, these are the ones that you're fighting against, right?
Yes, the each NPC have like different weaknesses.
Oh, okay. So basically, they have different type of stats or weaknesses or and
Uh,
advantages, lah. Is it?
yes, because we implemented a new mechanic. It's like the core. There's a
Mm.
for now. Now we have a new compartment called the core. So each core will like have different effects on the enemy.
I see. Okay, okay. This is just a design comment, lah. Okay. Your NPCs look a bit too similar to each other. Okay.
Oh.
So you might confuse the player a little bit lah. So you might want to make something that looks NPCs that look a bit different from each other lah. Currently looks a bit too much the same. At least the two guys lah actually.
We
Yeah.
did have some like differences about this is only for the concept like how overall it looks
Oh,
like.
okay. It's just a concept lah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Just wanted to point that out lah. Okay. Thank you very much, guys. Okay. So good progress on the design side. So I hope to see more things happen. Okay, awesome. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay. Regarding your character-based model, at may I ask during the game, you can see the full character, or you just only to see the character upper part? Because when you assembly your gun, the time is somewhere on top of the table, right? Which is blocking the character bottom part or what? So you are able to see the full body inside the game, is it?
I think it's just the top part.
So that means you're not able to see the bottom lah, the leg.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Yeah. So why I'm asking this is I want you to I want to clarify it so you know which part you should spend more effort into it. So then you will know the leg part just change I do or what is up to you. So you don't really need to spend so much time on it. Okay, that's the first thing. Okay, second one is regarding your character, the model topology. Did you reference any low poly topology from internet, or you strict it by yourself?
I got a reference on.
Or got reference one? Because what I can see now is the face itself is like angle, so overly sharp. The chest part, everything. Overall, I would say the topology, if you're having okay. I'm not really sure is it the style you're following some reference from internet or what. I'm not sure, but I would suggest you if next time when you do update, maybe you can put the reference inside so I can see which reference I refer it from. Because now the topology of everything is very weird. I'm not really sure about it. Okay, that's the first. And then I believe the base model after that you are going to add on the head, armor,
Yeah.
everything on top of it lah. Okay, so that's why uh, your base model itself is very important, the topology. Okay. I will suggest you go and fix it. Okay. Then you next week when you upload your progress, and also you upload and you also show me the references. I want to see which one are you following it. But based on what you're showing now, definitely, I think it's overly low polygon and also the style, everything. Even though you put the texture, it might look very a bit weird, I would say.
Okay.
Okay. Continue. Okay. I would say overall it's very good the model for this one, the gun. Okay. I have no question feedback on it lah. Overall it's very well done. Okay.
Thank you.
I think polygon wise is okay lah. Not really
yeah.
too over polygon. But I think some
maximum for the polygon how many?
no maximum actually.
Oh, I see.
That's as long you use the polygon for some in a reasonable polygon amount, I think it's fine. Okay. It just so let's say example like the front part, the head part and the holder part, it might be slightly over polygon now. So you might need to in the future you might need to reduce a little bit because I think 24 side maybe 18 or 24 side. I'm not sure, but a bit over already. Okay, because we very easy to compare. Let's say it's about the magazine, the magazine, and the head. I think it's the same polygon, it's the same side amount of the cylinder, but one is so big, another one is so small, but they're still using the same side. That one it doesn't make sense. Okay. Yeah. Overall, it's very good. So next week, are you going to model a new gun or different attachment?
Yeah. New gun. Then new gun.
Okay, okay. And you continue modeling. Okay. No question. Good job.
Okay, thank you.
Next. Okay, no more already. Okay, thank you.
Okay. 先用 your progress seems okay. I'm just curious, like you need to how do you do the up and down? You need to select a part, then you click up and down only to zoom it in, is it?
Yeah, you need to click on that part first. So the last part you select, only you can move it up and down lah.
What's the reason for the up and down?
Means maybe sometimes uh the parts are not aligned properly. Like one
I
is above
see.
another.
Okay, okay. Oh, okay. Because I was thinking, why not when you drag it already snaps it? What's the reason for the up and down? Like it feels a bit redundant. But and then your snapping will actually fix the misalignment also. I think maybe you shouldn't let users to control the up and down lah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Instead, when you drag right, it should step to the correct height, and then the rest of the parts that are moving should also snap to the correct height already. So I assume you need to do multi-touch, two touches, right? One for left object and the other for right object. Are you planning to do? You haven't implemented a multi-touch, right? In this one.
No,
I
I
see.
don't think we have multi-touch.
So the moment you hold the first one, how do you detect the second holding?
Uh, it will all when you click on the part, it's automatic float already the parts.
Okay. Then how do I when I press the other one?
The previous one will stay afloat while the second one will float lah.
Oh, okay, okay. I see what's the reason for the up and down. I see. So how do you cancel the part?
When you drop it down, it will automatically cancel lah. So you cannot move. Click the bar button.
Wait, how do you drop it down? When you release your finger?
When you double tap on the parts, one of the parts lah, the floating
I
part.
see. So every time you click it, it will float up, but you double tap the
Yeah.
object. I see. Okay, okay. So that's a very interesting way to bypass the multi-touch problem. I mean, like you haven't learned multi-touch, so okay, interesting, interesting. I mean, like you can improve this with multi-touch lah. So maybe next week's class you should be able to find a better way to handle this. Okay, yeah. I mean, good progress so far.
Alright.
Okay, next one. This one I'm not really sure. Like, what do you did for timer? It's just a countdown and then swap angle. It feels a bit too little progress for 1 week. Anything special on this? And then what you mentioned, there's even bugs.
Actually, yeah, I admit it might be a bit too little.
Okay, so yeah,
Yeah,
you don't want to.
yeah,
I
I'll
mean,
do
this is
more
the
for next
yeah, for first is fine, but you want to be really careful not to put too little on this one. Okay.
Alright,
All
alright,
right.
sorry for that.
Next one. This is okay. It's a brand new mechanic you added. Um, Audio manager. I mean, it still feels a bit little, but it may be because of your scale. So you want to test whether this one, the touch detects properly on your phone or not just through the emulator lah. Uh, yeah, this is okay.
Alright. Noted.
Okay, next. Minjin, your task feels a bit also a bit too little also, like you are just doing simple main menu for the whole week. uh and then these are pretty much ported stuff. And one thing I want to advise that because last semester you have been doing on particles, it will be good that you don't want to focus too much on just particle, or else you won't learn new things in this. You want
Okay.
to explore things more than just particle. And then you already use 3D particles anyway, so nothing much new you need to research on, and also it's just that unless that you are creating custom particles, then it's a different story. So yeah, try to look for other features than the standard stuff lah.
Alright,
Mm,
alright.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's overall my feedback for the team.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. All right. Is the third team ready?
Yep. Alright, I'll share my screen.
Awesome.
Let me know when you can see my screen, sir.
Okay, I can see your screen.
Alright. I'll start then. Yeah. So hi, I'm Genjin. I'm the lead designer for Stop Feeding Studios, and I'll be presenting both the group update slide and the individual slide for my own work. So for our group updates, for design, what we've been doing is mainly we've been designing and conceptualizing the unit behaviors, which are the nanobots and the viruses, as well as nailing down the game's actual identity and selling point. We're also trying to factor in spatial elements into the gameplay. So, like as you recall, our level is based on the hex, right? So we're trying to adjust the unit behaviors and the objectives around that. We've also been collectively working on establishing the group schedule, which is the Gantt chart, as well as a game design document. For the art, they've begun working on the mock-ups slash concept art for the game, as well as we've also got them to discuss the. Oh, sorry, a bit laggy. We've also got them to discuss about what kind of artistic benchmark they want to set so that all the work is consistent. Also, we've got them to learn how to export their work into FBX file so that it can be imported into Unity. Uh, we've set up the GitHub collaborative environment to help a lot with the Unity collaboration. Also, we've set an objective for the tech to be to make like a playable prototype for the game. So it's like a playable demo. We've been also trying out the fixed top-down view, which is from a 45-degree angle, as recommended, so that the game will showcase like a 3D perspective, even though it's like from a top-down perspective. We've also done a lot of research on the core game mechanics. Yeah. So that's for our group update. And for me, what I've been doing is that I've been prepping the game design document and fleshing out the game. So in particular, I was in charge of conceptualizing and fleshing out the spawners and viruses, which are the terms we're using right now for the towers and enemy units of the game. So as you recall, it's like a reverse tower defense or a strategy game. So the towers will be, for now, are called spawners, and the enemy units are called viruses. I've come up with 5 spawner and virus variants, as well as their combat behavior and role in the game. We are still working on this definition of the combat behavior and role, but for now, I've come up with that and some potential stats which you can view in our game design document here. The link is empty. So just quickly scroll through here. So this is our game design document. And then I've also come up with a simple game flow for the game, and as well as a core gameplay loop. So upcoming for this week, I'll be diving into the level design of the game. So especially how the space is going to work in terms of the hexes and the pathing of the nanobots, as well as continue to refine the existing behavior and interactions of the virus and the nanobots. So I'll pass it over to my other Chen Sheng. I'll go to few screens. Yeah. Chen Sheng? Hello, Chen Sheng? You there?
Okay, I was talking with my mic muted. My bad. But yeah, thanks. So, yep. Hi, I'm Chen Sheng. So what I've done this week is that, along with Max, we've been prepping the game design document as well as fleshing out the game. So what I've done is, I've
I've come up with a few nanobot behaviors as well as their roles. So for now, there's five variants. So they have unique behaviors somewhat based on their in real life counterparts lah. So for example, depression, anti-depression nanobots, right? Anti-depression nanobots will have somewhat similar behavior to like depression in real life because depression is very common. So we imagine that to be the more common enemy, like or some like bipolar disorder and schizophrenia. Those are more uncommon, so they'll be lesser seen but more unique in terms of their behavior. I've also come up with a gameplay example based on Max's gameplay loop and the core gameplay flow. It's in the design document. And then I've also started fleshing out the unit cost approximation, but this is still a work in progress, as we still don't know exactly how it'll be yet. So there's a chart on the side. So this one is sort of a RPS format for our nanobots versus cells. So that's what we're trying to go for in terms of unit combat to try to make it not so mundane. So rather than just a color matching game, you actually have these kind of different types to factor in when spawning a unit. Right. So what I'll be doing next week is that I'll work on the upgrades and perks for the units and the play in general. And I'll also be working with Genjin to help flesh out the interactions between the virus and the nanobots. Okay.
Hi, everyone. I'm Alif, and I'm the tech lead for this team. So, what I've done for the last week is basically I've done a bunch of research on the core gameplay mechanics and how to implement it, and also we set up a GitHub for Unity. That's what me and Kang Rui did. Also, I started working on the prototype, mainly for like, just working on I was trying to make the AI for the bots and the basic nanobots and the enemy. For now, I just managed to make it like just go to the enemy, and then whenever it reaches the enemy, it has like a little animation. I also did some like very simple animation for the enemy and also for the nanobots. And for next week, I'll be working on finishing up the whole prototype, which is only consists of the core mechanics, which is going to be basically just the spawning of the bots, which will be conducted by EP studies, and the spawning, and also finishing up with the mass hordes of the uh, mass hordes of nanobots, and also the enemy units fighting together. That will be done next week. Basically, the whole prototype. Try to finish up next week. Yeah, that's about it for me.
Hello, EP. If you're talking, we can't hear you.
Okay, sorry, I muted my mic. Okay, my name is Yippee, and I'm one of the tech for Stop Feeding Studios. And the tasks that I completed for this week are research and implementation of spawn mechanics, and also research and implementation of camera angles. So I did it with I did test it out with my own mobile, and it does work. So how the spawn mechanic works is that as long as there's a surface area, and you tap on the surface area, you'll be able to spawn the unit that you would like to spawn. And if it's anywhere else without the surface area, it won't spawn. So for right now, I just done these tasks, and for the upcoming week, I plan on researching on how to polish up the spawn mechanic so that it fits our game theme, where it can only spawn on a certain tile, and also research and implementation for enemy cells, for the enemy lah basically. So basically, I have to research more on tower defense mechanics, and also what is it something to auto chess behavior, sort of like that. Yeah, I think that's it for me.
EP, would you like me to play your video?
Yeah, sure. This video is with the, how do I put this? Is how I tested it with my mobile phone also. So like it does work on mobile.
Are you playing the video?
Yeah, it's playing right now. I think there's volume. It's just that it's not that loud.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, it's on the slide display, is it?
I think it's because Max is streaming the like there's no volume when he streams the
Oh,
It's like,
okay.
but basically like if you tap, yeah, basically like if you tap once, then afterwards like a small cube will spawn out, and it's really just on anywhere with a surface area basically. Because I used, if I'm not mistaken, I use ray what is it? Raycast for it. Yeah.
I see. I see. Okay.
Yeah. I
Awesome.
think that's all for me. Thank you.
Cool.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, so hi, I'm Kang Lui, and basically I'm in charge of the animation. So for this week, I just researched the 3D animation in Unity as well as try to enhance the animation performance for the character lah. So what I researched is the animation rigging. Basically use the multi-hand constraint to make the character more interactable and and have good animation performance lah. And as well as the multi-end constraint with trigger. Basically, when the object inside the trigger range, then the character will look at the object lah. And then if the object outside the trigger range, then the character won't look at the object anymore. And for the this week, I will get more familiar with with animation in Unity, as well as if my teammate need me to do something, then I help them to do that. Yeah. That's all there. That's all for me.
Hello, my name is Owen. Actually, I just created a prototype menu with working buttons and also researching on the UI VFX. For the next week, I will just finish up the menu and with effects. Yeah, that's all.
So hi everyone, I'm Kito and I'm the arc lead. So basically what have I done for last week is designing the cell tower and modeling it out. So this is the cell tower that I have designed based on the virus design that we'll show later. So for the cell design concept, we'll be having a futuristic and the scientific element to fit in our game. So for the first one, as you can see on the left side, is something like squid cell virus tower. And for the right side will be like something like flower type of monster inside a container that will spawn the virus. So for my next week task, I will be working on completing design and modeling out the tower. And so for me,
Zafir, are you there? If you're talking, we can't hear you.
Done, huh?
Yeah.
Give me a sec. Okay, yeah, my webcam not working now. Never mind. I'll just continue. Alright, so yeah, so right now I what I did was I made a mood board reference for some of the nanoboard designs I found on Pinterest, and I sort of redesigned the concept of the nanobots, varying from ground nanobots to uh, air nanobots, and then I made models. I made some basic prototype models for the nanobots, and then I made the sort of the prototype for what it looks like in the top-down view, in the bottom right you can see. Then next week I'll probably start with the modeling of the nanobots on detail. So that is it for me.
All right.
Hello. Yeah. Good afternoon. My name is Awei, and this week I found some reference for virus design from Pinterest. And with these, I made two virus designs and modeled one out of two using 3ds Max. And one is referred from a squid, which is I referred from the squid game, which I got the idea from, and another is from a flower kind of monster. And what I'm doing next week is that I will finish the designs and model out of the rest of the virus. Yeah, and that's all from me.
And that's it for our group.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay, let's go through the design slides. Okay. I think got no problem with this. Okay, good progress. uh, let's go to all the design slides first. Then I want to comment generally on design. Okay. Also decent progress, good progress also. All right. Next person.
Yeah, these two only.
Oh, that's all. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, generally for design, I think you guys are a bit slow in terms of coming out with a level. So what you might want to do is you might want to really focus on the level first, and as soon as possible get the level out for the programmers and the artists to start putting things inside for try. It doesn't have to be the final how the level should look like, but at least give them an initial level that they can actually use for testing. Does that make sense? Yeah. So do a rough draft of a level quickly and pass it to them so that they can start implementing it. Because a lot of their technologies and a lot of their work will depend on how well it works together inside the level so that they can start putting the things together. So that is the main thing that I want to say. Okay. So uh, you might want to start focusing on the levels and quickly come out with your initial draft level design. Okay, of how you think the level should look like. It doesn't have to be perfect yet. You can tweak it later, but at least get something out so that the rest of the team can actually start using it to put all their works together. Because integration will take a lot of work on their side for both the artists and the technical people. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's my main comment. Okay, thank you very much, guys. Good job.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Thanks, sir.
Sorry, it's a bit laggy. Yeah.
Okay. Cell tower concept design. I would say this design is look good. It's look very good. Okay. Overall, I can see your concept, what you want to present. Okay. By the way, one thing is regarding the second tower, that one, is it if you're having animation, the flower you open up or what?
Yeah, it will have an animation. Yeah, the flower you will open up and close it up. Yeah.
I see. Okay, okay. I think these two design, I think there's no problem on it. Okay, very good.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Next one. Okay, robots. Mm, for what I see now, the robot, for the robot itself, the silhouette, the design is a lot better than last week. And I first, so it will having two type of robot, the ground one and the air one, is it?
For now, I've been told to sort of make variations for melee nanobots and ranged nanobots. So we have confirmed we're gonna use fully both or use one of them as well.
Okay, can. Because what I can say is, it's based on the design. I like the A nanobot, the design. It's look, it's look better, and and based on the silhouette wise, it's look better lah, I would say. Okay, so if can, I think if you want to do more variation, more design or what, maybe you can base on the A nanobot, the design. Then you change it or improve on it. Okay, because the ground one, I would say too it's too simple. Yeah, I think it's too the it doesn't look that great lah if compared to the end.
Oh, okay.
Mm. I like the air nanobot itself having the panel line. So yeah, it is very simple but very futuristic, but it having a detail on top which you can see. Okay. I think the air one is do a pretty good job. Okay. So what you okay? So you're going to start to so next week you start to go to do the nanobot design modeling. Okay.
Once confirm the designs, I can start modeling the details. Yeah.
Okay, can. Then you can maybe you can um yeah, next week after you by this week after you guys decide then you start to do it lah. I'm okay with it. Just if
Alright.
you I'm okay with the A one, not the ground one. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Alright.
Okay. Yours one. The virus design. Okay. So for the left one is the reference. Those bacterial it's like the what the matrix robot like that.
Yeah.
Um but why your design the virus itself it having the hand to walk what?
Yeah, for some kind of like structure particles or something. I'm
Okay,
not sure, but this just came up to my mind when I was designing it.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. So but one thing you need to take care of which is if you if you design in this way that means you need to do the animation for it. Okay, so you need to think on it. Are you is it look good and is it because in the end you got a lot this kind of bacteria virus walk around. So
Yeah.
you need to think on it. Is it will look good lah in during the gameplay. Okay.
Uh,
I personally I have no idea on it yet, but I just throw a question to you, to let you take it in consideration. Okay.
mhm. Yeah.
Total how many designs of the virus you have?
Now should be 5.
Five lah. Okay.
Yes.
So yeah, so maybe you can come up with a different variations. Let's say example, some is walking, some is flying or what. Okay.
Mm.
So you
Yeah.
so I think you can come up with more type of the virus design by next week.
Yeah, sure.
Is it okay? Okay.
Yes.
Then come up with more. You can based on yours one to do develop based on it. I'm okay. Then then you come up with more. Uh, if can, then you can start to do some basic modeling, 3D modeling, and let me
Alright.
do.
Yeah.
Okay. Should be okay lah, the modeling part, not that super hard lah. Okay. Okay.
Thanks, sir.
Okay. I think that's all from my side. Thank you.
Research on core mechanic. Okay. I'm glad you guys started using GitHub. Just do note, if you want to have be more secure, I would recommend using GitLab because you can set private repo. GitHub, unless you pay, you can only do public. So in a way, all your codes are exposed lah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's similar like that, how it works.
It is same thing.
Or same thing.
Slightly different UI when you set up.
Okay. We'll try set it up again because like we did kind of had a problem with setting up GitHub also. Like there's a bunch of things that we didn't even know what was the change, but it was just there for some reason.
Sometimes because you didn't have a proper JIT ignore. Usually happens on shader or meta file. It will
Oh
update.
yeah, that one.
So
Yeah.
did you include a JIT ignore?
Uh, I think because our git ignore didn't put it inside the Unity project, I think this the reason.
It's the same file directory as your Git file, right?
Yeah.
The thing is that your Git ignore doesn't ignore meta. You still need to push it, right? Your meta file is the one that store your changes, like game object resize, becomes big, becomes small, just imported. So you have the meta file. You need to push it. If you cannot push it, then your changes will not be registered.
But
Okay.
like if we just like ignore the files, like we just uncheck the files and then just keep on pushing the others, then it works.
I'm not really sure what file are they. Yeah, I'm just assuming it's meta file.
Yeah, it was the shaders thing, like
Or
the one you
shaders.
can
Okay, if it's a shader, maybe you have imported some shader that's causing that. You can ignore them, you can push it, doesn't matter, it won't harm anyway.
Alright.
Yeah. Okay. I mean your progress so far is okay. Next one.
Right. Also, like,
Hmm.
I just want to mention that for my one, after this we will have our tech session, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I just want to mention that I'm having a problem with the nav mesh thingy where it doesn't actually shake. It works when I bake it, like I put it to static object and all already. It works when I bake it, but it doesn't appear. Like the nav mesh display doesn't appear.
Maybe you hide your gizmo.
Uh,
Never mind. We can discuss this in the tag
alright, sure.
afterwards. Uh, Zheng Yan, your one information so mechanic. I mean this is okay. Camera angles. How do you do the camera angle? Is it the fixed one or like? Yeah, because just now I couldn't
This is
see
the
the.
fixed one.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, but I was thinking of doing. I did research on like how to pan it so that you can like turn it and see it from like,
I
multiple
see. I see.
angles,
Okay.
lah.
Okay. Good. Good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I just couldn't like implement it because I didn't. I couldn't find the stuff that I needed to research on, lah.
Okay. You can try to look at my open learning file. There is one video specific for this kind of panning one, but it's a bit
Okay.
difficult to. You might need to rewatch it a few times because the things that it you need to understand how tangent angle works. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Right. Next one. Why are you doing rigging in the game? Like, do you even need that?
I think if we can implement it, maybe can make the character more interactable, I guess.
And the nanobot combat, I think, will need some form of this, right? At least.
This should be done on the artist side, the rigging.
Oh.
Unless you guys, but are you using any plugin for the rigging? I don't think Unity has an inbuilt rigger.
Uh, I think there's the Unity itself has a plugin about animation rigging, and the multi-end constant also is one of the component of the animation rigging.
Okay. Um, I just feel like it's not very relevant. Like most of your game doesn't require such a fine detail. The rigging should be actually be done on the artist side, and then you just call the animation and then do the blending on your side. So yeah, I mean like nice to have, but your character if it's not humanoid, kind of useless also.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not. I'm kind of. I mean like it's good research lah, but not really useful. In my opinion. I'm not even
Alright.
sure how you how you need the multi aim because your game is not character focused. It's more like top down. So most of the animation can be you do need to have like blending or even dynamic animation. It should be pre-made from artists and then you just need to integrate it lah. So yeah, I will not recommend you focus too much on this. You can still continue research on animation. Focus on uh how to do blending. Mostly just blending is needed only. And how do you want to set up the animation tree?
Alright.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Right. Okay. Next. This one. Again, same thing. I feel this is a very minimal work. UI menu scene. It's just
Yeah.
pop a few buttons. Call it a day. Actually, your one. I don't think you even have a pause menu. So.
Yeah, not yet.
Yeah. This is a 5 minute work. I want to see more than that lah. It sounds to me like a 5 minute work lah. Maybe you use longer to do, but uh, it can be done in 5 minutes. So I I I want more than this. Okay.
Alright.
That's all my feedback.
Alright, thank you, sir.
All right.
Thanks, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, guys. Okay, so all right. What we will do now is that we will split up into our individual streams. Okay, for more questions in case there are things that you want to ask specifically to the lecturers. All right. So designers, I'll see you in the design stream. Okay. Thanks. Thank you, guys.
Michael, I stop my recording first.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.